Sia refers to a type of rose and Chen means abundance in the Balti language. So technically, Siachen should mean a place full of roses. But look around me. It is anything but a bed of roses. Hello and welcome to Y Factor, and this is a very, very exclusive and special edition of Y Factor because we are at the Siachen Glacier, the world's highest battlefield. Now, as you warm up in your quilts, in your cozy beds, and are all set to welcome the new year, there are men out here whose office as well as home is right here, with temperatures plummeting as low as minus 60 degrees Celsius. So today, DD News and DD India are getting you an exclusive glimpse into life at the Siachen Glacier, about how India protects her borders, how these men work hard, give their all at this very glacier where we are standing right now. Remember, to the west is Pakistan, to the east is China, and here we are, India protecting her borders from two notorious neighbors. So today, let's get a glimpse of the kind of determination and the kind of hard work that goes into life at the Siachen Glacier.
एक, दो, तीन, up, up. एक, दो, तीन, up, up.
Well, remember, up at the glacier, the enemy is not just across the border. Our men in uniform also face challenges like inclement weather, slithering crevasses, and unpredictable avalanches. And what we just saw now was the avalanche rescue team, the special team that is involved in the rescue operations in case an avalanche occurs and our men, have to face that challenge. And with me right now is the instructor who actually trains all these men.
यहाँ पर सियाचिन वेटर स्कूल में नॉन ऑपरेशन कैजुअलिटी सियाचिन ग्लेशियर में होती जाती है। इससे बचने के लिए हमें स्पेशल अवलांच पैंथर टीम को ट्रेन करते हैं, जिसकी ट्रेनिंग 5 वीक की होती है और जिसकी नफरी 1 जेसीओ 12 जवान होते हैं। जहां पर नॉन ऑपरेशन कैजुअलिटी बचाने के लिए हम इस टीम को हाई एल्टीट्यूड इलाके में डिप्लॉय करते हैं।
हमने एक रेस्क्यू डॉग भी देखा आपकी टीम में। उनकी ट्रेनिंग कैसे होती है? वो किस किस चीज़ में हेल्प करते हैं?
वो विक्टिम को ढूंढने में मदद करते हैं। इस रेस्क्यू टीम की डॉग की ट्रेनिंग यहीं पे चलाई जाती है, जो 15 से 20 फीट तक के विक्टिम को ढूंढने में मदद करता है।
और इनकी ट्रेनिंग कितने दिनों की होती है, कितने हफ्तों की होती है?
जिनकी ट्रेनिंग 5 हफ्तों की होती है।
लेट्स टॉक टू वन ऑफ द मेंबर्स ऑफ दिस एवलांच रेस्क्यू टीम। सर, आपका नाम?
मेरा नाम नैब सुबेदार रिंचन स्कर्मा।
सर, जब आप रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन कैरी आउट करते हैं, क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं?
अभी हमें इस इलाके में बर्फ़ ज़्यादा होने के कारण जो ना एवलांच आने का ज़्यादातर इसमें चांसेस रह जाता है। तो हमें जो ना इस एवलांच में दबे हुए विक्टिम को निकलने के लिए जो ना बहुत ही कठिन होते हैं, क्योंकि एक तो यहाँ पे टेम्परेचर माइनस है और यहाँ का ऑक्सीजन बहुत ही कमी है। तो इसके वजह से जो ना हमें थोड़ी दिक्कत होते हैं। तो इस दिक्कत को दूर करने के लिए हमें सियाचिन बैटल स्कूल ने 5 हफ्ते का जो ना ट्रेनिंग दिया गया है, जिससे हमें जो ट्रेनिंग करने से पहले और करने के बाद जो हमारे अंदर जो कॉन्फिडेंस आया, वो ज़मीन आसमान का फ़र्क है।
यह क्रैम्पोन कैम्प कंपनी इटली का बना हुआ है। इसका इस्तेमाल ग्लेशियर के ऊपर फुट होल्ड के लिए किया जाता है। पॉइंट, रियर, एंकर वे, स्नो साउल अटैचमेंट। आई-6 में किसी सेवन का कोई सवाल?
Now this, what you see on your screens, is the avalanche rescue by horizontal hauling line. This is basically to cut down the time from the mountain top till the base of the mountain to get the casualty and get the treatment as soon as possible. Now, what you're witnessing behind me is called the 4-point method. It's basically, up in the glaciers, they have these ice walls where they have to climb. This wall behind me is at least 90 degree. And if you see them closely, they are carrying at least 18 to 20 kgs of weight with them. Their shoes, which are called the crampons, are at least 2.5 kg each shoe. And with their two hands, they're using ice axe, one point at one point, the second point to climb the other point, and their two shoes that are helping them climb this ice wall. Up in the glaciers, remember, there are a lot of ice walls that they need to climb up in case they want to cross any sort of distance from one point to the other up at the glacier, and this is what helps them. This is called the 4-point method. So remember, at the glacier where temperatures plummet to as low as minus 60 degrees Celsius, and there are of course slithering crevasses, unpredictable avalanches, our men in uniform need the kind of specialized equipment that they can wear and use there to survive and of course fight the enemy. Here I have with me, आपका नाम क्या है सर?
मेरा नाम हवलदार इंस्ट्रक्टर सैतान मुटुब सैचन मिडल स्कूल। मैं यहाँ पर पिछले 1 साल से पोस्टेड हूँ। अभी आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे ये बेसिक इक्विपमेंट रॉक क्लाइंबिंग के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं। इस रेंज से सबसे मेन है ये चौकनट। नाम इसका चौकनट है। इसका इस्तेमाल हम रॉक फेस क्लाइंबिंग के दौरान बेस बनाने के लिए करते हैं। अभी आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर है ये बिले डिवाइस। ये सब बिले करने के लिए काम आते हैं। अभी आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर लगे हुए यहाँ से पूरे आइस क्राफ्ट इक्विपमेंट। इसमें से सबसे मेन है ट्यूबुलर पिटॉन। इसका इस्तेमाल हूबहू जैसे हम रॉक फेस पर रॉक पिटॉन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, सेम हम आइस वॉल के ऊपर इसका इस्तेमाल बेस बनाने के लिए करते हैं। अभी आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे लगे हुए सामान ये पूरे रेस्क्यू इक्विपमेंट है। मेन आइटम है एवीडी, एवलांच विक्टिम डिटेक्टर। इसके ज़रिए हम एवलांच में दबे हुए विक्टिम को हम इसके ज़रिए से ढूंढते हैं। अभी आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर लगे हुए हैं 4 प्रकार के ABS बैग, जिसको हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं एवलांच प्रोन स्लोप को पार करते समय। हमारे जवान एवलांच के चपेट में आने पर फ्लोटिंग करके एवलांच की सतह के ऊपर ही रह सके।
So remember, avalanches are one of the greatest threats that our men in uniform face up at the glacier, and the avalanche airbag system is one of the ways through which they're rescued up there. Here you can see our men in that special gear that they use up there. Let's understand what this is, what they're wearing, and how it helps them.
We train all the troops of the brigade over here who are going to get inducted into the Siachen Glacier. This system, what they are wearing, is called avalanche airbag system. What it does is that once the troops are crossing and negotiating the avalanche prone sites, it inflates, it gets inflated, and thereafter they start floating onto the surface of the ice, which helps in rescuing their life. That all the bags have got inflated. With the inflation of these kind of avalanche airbag, the surface area of the individual increases and he comes onto the top surface of the ice, where it becomes easier for the rescue team to just pinpoint the location of the casualty and the evacuation becomes much faster.
So behind me is the Cheetal helicopter, which I am told is an upgraded version of what the earlier Cheetals had. Now, you know, the helicopters, the choppers are the lifeline for the Siachen Glacier, where they provide air logistics and of course the supply to our men in uniform up at the glacier. So the Cheetal helicopter that you just saw taking off was being manned by these two Army aviation pilots. Let's talk to them and understand what challenges they face at heights as high as this.
If you see at the challenges that are there, the challenges are for both man and the machine. Both of the men and the machine are operating at extreme climate, their limits, the carpet size helipads, extreme high altitudes, and turbulence adds on to it. So yes, it's a lot if you see here, and it's really challenging to carry out flying over here.
But despite the challenges, what is the best part of your job?
The job satisfaction that you get, saving lives, that is the best part about the job. and serving for the country is at such places is a privilege.
Absolutely, and we are grateful to have people like you serve the country and protect all of us. Now, at such high altitudes, maintenance of the chopper is also a huge problem. Let's understand from them how these equipments are maintained and, how they actually solve that challenge which is faced at such a high altitude.
Equipment wise, we are presently having two Cheetal helicopters here which are continuously flying, and we are op ready for 24 hours. So the equipment wise, we have adequate space and we try to maintain it, since our base is at both at Leh and also beyond that is in the places from which the space are being maintained. So we try to keep the space ready and have adequate reserves for whatever unserviceability that arises in the aircraft due to continuous flying here.
And, how does it work when it is about, in terms of casualty rescue, or in terms of supplying some sort of goods up at the peaks to our men? How does it work then?
Like if first I'll talk about the part in which we are supplying goods at the post itself. Our mission starts right from the sunrise time itself. We calculate initially, our briefing is there. Thereafter we calculate load depending on the helipad or the place which we are going, the altitude, also the temperatures that are there. So based on that, whatever the weight we can carry for that particular mission, we carry that load, and it's planned in a very sequential manner, starting from the lowermost helipad, and thereafter we continue flying towards the highest helipad. Each sortie we complete, thereafter again the servicing is carried out for the aircraft. Then we plan the second mission. So this mission continuously goes right from sunrise time to the till 12 o'clock here.
And so what is the maximum weight that you can carry in this?
Within the cockpit, we can carry 2 to 5 kg for a single mission or a single hepta. So if two are operating in a valley, for two Cheetals are operating, then we carry 450 kg.
Okay. And is it the same reason for you, the job satisfaction that you get, in supplying what they need and in saving lives?
Obviously, it gives a lot of privilege and also a lot of satisfaction because all people who are serving here, they are doing it for the country, and whatever we can provide from our side, and it's our primary job to be here and also to supply. Also, not only it gives them encouragement, it is a big morale booster for them if they require what they want at such a high altitude post.
New Year is ushering in. What is it that you would like to say to the country?
Stay safe, stay happy, and hope whatever the circumstances were during the COVID times, and we have good times ahead, and hope 2021 is a better year.
Well, the Indian Army has a rich tradition of respecting and honoring all religions. So wherever you go, you will always find Sarva Dharma Sthals, where every religion, every faith is respected and is taken care of. So, whichever faith you believe in, you can come here and worship your God. Now, one interesting thing about the Siachen Glacier is that whoever gets inducted to the glacier, they visit and take the blessings of O.P. Baba. Now, what this legend is, what this story is, वो हमें बताएंगे. सर, आपका नाम?
सुल्तान मेजर सोमू।
सर, O.P. बाबा को क्यों इतना मानते हैं और क्यों ग्लेशियर जाने से पहले यहाँ पे आते हैं और फिर वहाँ के लिए निकलते हैं?
सियाचिन ग्लेशियर की कठोर और दुर्गम ऊंचाइयों में विश्व के सबसे ऊंचे युद्ध क्षेत्र में 22,000 फीट के ऊपर हमारे एक पौराणिक सैनिक कैप्टन ओम प्रकाश, जिनको हमारे भारतीय सैनिक एक अभिभावक देवता के रूप में जानते हैं, जो उन्हें सभी बाधाओं से दूर रखने में मदद देते हैं। 1980 के दशक के अंत में ओम प्रकाश मलून चौकी पर दुश्मन से हमले के लिए तैनात थे। उनके कुछ साथियों को अस्थायी तौर पर पीछे के मुख्यालय में बुलाया गया था। इस दौरान ओपी बाबा के साथ क्या हुआ, ये आज तक एक रहस्य बना हुआ है। सियाचिन ग्लेशियर में 3 महीने के समय में जीवित रहना बहुत ही कठिन कार्य है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर कभी कभी तापमान जो है -65 डिग्री से नीचे चला जाता है। इस दौरान ऑक्सीजन का स्तर भी कम हो जाता है, लेकिन ओपी बाबा के आशीर्वाद और मनोबल से सभी सैनिक अपने कठिन टेन्योर को आसानी से पूरा करते हैं। जहाँ पर ओपी बाबा का मंदिर अभी अवस्थित है, ये ग्लेशियर के स्नोट से कुछ ही दूरी पर है।
Well, they say that faith can move mountains, and when the mountains are so huge and so humongous as they are here at the snout, which is the base of the Siachen Glacier, you do need that blessing of O.P. Baba and of course the blessing of every faith that you believe in. Here, the induction party will come here, and you will always hear the echoes of O.P. Baba Ki Jai before they leave for their journey towards the Siachen Glacier. Well, 13th April 1984 is when India captured the peaks of Siachen Glacier, and the men of 4 Kumaon and Ladakh Scouts and of course the Indian Air Force helped us in doing that. Now behind me are stories of courage, stories of valor and stories of determination. These are 1163 names of martyrs, of battalions who have served at the Siachen Glacier and protected India's borders from notorious neighbors. These are stories of their valor, their courage and their determination. Well, the Siachen War Memorial is exemplar of the fact of the hard work that goes into protecting India's borders. This memorial stands testimony to stories of grit, of determination, of valor in inclement weather, treacherous avalanches, and unpredictable crevasses. Now, behind me that you see up there is a ladder with soldiers going and reaching their glory of fate. Those, remember, are those men who have worked hard to protect India's borders and keep us, all of us, safe. We are fortunate enough to actually meet the men who have served at the Siachen Glacier at those unimaginable heights. They are back from there. Let's talk to them and understand what really goes on there. Sir, आपका नाम?
हवलदार मोहनलाल।
सर, आप अभी ग्लेशियर से आप लोग वापस आए हैं सर्व करके। सबसे पहले तो व्यूअर्स ये जानना चाहेंगे कि कैसा होता है वहाँ पे।
जी मैम, सियाचिन ग्लेशियर के फॉरवर्ड पोस्टों के ऊपर एक सैनिक को बहुत ही चुनौती और कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ता है, जिसकी हाइट लगभग 18,000 से 22,000 के लगभग होती है। इनमें सैनिक को फर्स्ट 15 दिन के अंदर बहुत ही कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ता है, जिसमें कि इनको कई बीमारियों के साथ भी लड़ना पड़ता है, जैसे कि हैको, कुछ दिन बाद में CVT, DVT, PT आदि बीमारियों से लड़ना पड़ता है। इन बीमारियों के साथ साथ एक सैनिक को कुछ दिन रहने के बाद में नींद का कम आना, भूख कम लगना, इसके बाद में अकेलापन महसूस करना, चिड़चिड़ापन होना आदि की समस्याओं से जूझना पड़ता है।
You see, these are the real life heroes that go up there and protect India's borders. सर, आप मुझे बताइए कि वहाँ पे जैसे ग्लेशियर पे एवलांचेस और क्रेवासेस का बहुत ख़तरा होता है, आपने कुछ ऐसा फेस किया वहाँ?
जो अवलांच और क्रेवास आते हैं उनको फेस करने के लिए हम आपस में एक दूसरे पर रोप होकर चलते हैं ताकि अवलांच क्रेवास से बच सके।
रोप की अहमियत बहुत होती है वहाँ पे। रोप की मतलब थोड़ी इम्पोर्टेंस हमें समझाइए वहाँ पे।
रोप में हम एक दूसरे के एंकर करके चलते हैं। अगर बंदे के पिछले का कुछ हो जाए तो आपस में हम सहायता कर सकते हैं, उनको बचा सकते हैं रोप की सहायता से।
These are people who have served at least 90 days there, up there, at heights as high as 23,000 feet. वहाँ पे खाने पीने का और वो सब कैसे मैनेज करते हैं, क्योंकि हेलीकॉप्टर से सप्लाई तो होता है बट भूख कम लगना और वो सब प्रॉब्लम्स भी आती हैं।
मैडम, ऊपर जाने के बाद में भूख तो कम ही लगती है, लेकिन उसमें क्या है, हम क्या आपस में तालमेल अच्छा बिठा के और खाने को आपस में स्वाद बनाते हैं, उसके हिसाब से फिर हम खाते हैं। और कभी कभी मौसम भी ख़राब हो जाता है तो उस सब चीज़ को हम एडजस्ट करते हैं।
Up there, the enemy is not just across the border, it is also in the form of inclement weather. देशवासियों को क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
देशवासियों के लिए यही प्रेरणा है, यहाँ पर जो हमारी भारतीय सेना बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है और आगे भी करती रहेगी।
Now, to better understand how the base camp operates and what goes into motivating these men, I'm going to talk to the commanding officer here, Colonel Amit Aul. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. So first of all, help us understand what the base camp does really.
Ma'am, the base camp is for the soldiers that induct into the Northern Glacier and the Central Glacier. We have units which come in, they train, they equip themselves, and then we look after their induction and de-induction from the glacier once they come down from the posts.
And the base camp also supplies logistics to the men at the glacier.
We are like a mother base, so we take care of training the men, inducting them, de-inducting them, and then maintaining them on the glacier. For that, we have the requisite air assets with us, and every post is air maintained.
When somebody comes here, you see all around you, there's absolute, a snow cover and, all these wind chill factor and all these health problems. How easy or difficult is it to motivate your men to serve up there?
Most of the men are seasoned soldiers, other than the new ones. So the training is a very big part. And of course, throughout the training, what we do is we continue with their medical checkups. And we filter out the men who are not able to adapt to this kind of terrain. And only the fittest go up.
And I've also been told that a lot of men actually volunteer to go up there. How does that kind of motivation come in our men in uniform?
Ma'am, within the army, it's a matter of pride to serve here. This is supposed to be the toughest battlefield in the world. So we all, at some point in our lives, want to serve here. It's not only the infantry units, it's also the artillery, the aviation pilots, even the doctors who are just newly commissioned. They volunteer to come and serve with the units on the glacier.
And what does it take to be a Siachen warrior?
It takes courage and fortitude, ma'am. So firstly, mentally, you have to be ready to face what you've not faced before. There is a lot of isolation on the posts. Your body has to be ready physically. So that's why it requires a lot of conditioning as well as continuous medical checkups. Even on the post, we continue with that. And finally, it is the go within you, which gets you on top, on the post, and makes you survive there.
Yes, and speaking of that, there are, apart from the physical challenges that the soldiers face up there are also a lot of psychological and mental challenges. How does the army deal with that?
Within the combat units, the infantry units, we are like a huge family. It's 10 months we are with the guys we serve with, and it's only 2 months leave that you're at home. So the post functions as a small, close-knit family. So there are people cooking, there are people clearing the snow, there are some people on duty, and it keeps rotating.
So brotherhood, is a very important factor when it comes to the Indian Army. Now, sir, when we look back, when Operation Meghdoot, which is the longest deployment of the Indian Army, which, 13th April 1984 is when India captured those posts. From there till today, how have we evolved in better understanding the terrain, the topographical changes that come in with this terrain, and of course, our adjustment to it in terms of the human conditioning as well as the evolution of weapon technology when it comes to that?
Over a period of time, we realized the clothing that we required, so we got the clothing. Then we understood that we need to train our men psychologically and physically to survive those 3.5 months on top. As far as the weapons is concerned, we have special oils which we use. We carry out regular maintenance. We've adapted our weapons to high altitude and super high altitude that we serve under, and it's part of our daily routine.
A lot is said on social media, especially at this time when the border situation with China is tensed. How ready is the Indian Army to face any unprecedented situation?
We are absolutely ready, ma'am. It's part of our drills. We train every day. And we can't be surprised ever. So that's our job, and we train for it every day.
All right. So lastly, we are entering a new year. Is there any message that you would like to give to the country on the new year?
We are here, and we are always ready.
Now, as I told you, up at the glacier, the problem is not just across the border. It is also in the form of several high-altitude diseases and problems that our jawans and officers face at various posts at the glacier. Now, I am right now at the Siachen Hospital, also known as the Siachen Healers.
We have got one patient here. He was just evacuated yesterday. He's a case of frostbite. Actually, I would not go into much details of opening into the dressing and all. But again, the thing that happened is he got a frostbite. Frostbite is something I won't say inevitable per se, but yes, of course, it is preventive.
When you go home, tell them that for their tomorrow, we gave our today. This was our very, very small effort in bringing to you the immense amount of hard work, grit and determination that goes into protecting India's borders from the world's highest battlefield. The hard work, the passion that goes into making Operation Meghdoot a success every day since 13th April 1984. Well, we are heading into a new year. Hope you have a good New Year's Eve and a better 2021. But remember to pay your gratitude and be grateful to the Indian Armed Forces as they protect us from our enemies. Till then, have a good New Year, have a good day ahead. Namaskar.
बड़ू बरहत